Section 11 of a traveller's narrative written to illustrate the episode of the Bab. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nicholas James Bridgewater. A traveller's narrative written to illustrate the episode of the Bab by Abdul-Baha Abbas, translated by Edward Granville Browne. Section 11. O friends, help the oppressed one with well-pleasing virtues and good deeds. Today, let every soul desire to attain the highest station. He must not regard what is in him, but what is in God. It is not for him to regard what shall advantage himself, but that whereby the word of God, which must be obeyed, shall be upraised. The heart must be sanctified from every form of selfishness and lust, for the weapons of the Unitarians and the saints were and are the fear of God. That is the buckler which guardeth man from the arrows of hatred and abomination. Unceasingly hath the standard of piety been victorious, and accounted amongst the most puissant hosts of the world. Thereby do the saints subdue the cities of men's hearts, by the permission of God, the Lord of hosts. Darkness hath encompassed the earth, the lamp which giveth light was and is wisdom. The dictates thereof must be observed under all circumstances, and of wisdom is the regard of place and the utterance of discourse according to measure and state. And of wisdom is decision, for man should not accept whatsoever any one saith. Under all conditions, desire the true one, glorious is his glory, that he will not deprive his servants of the sealed wine. Note: by the sealed wine are meant the ordinances of God. Thus, in the Most Holy Book, Kitab-i-Aqdas, rather than Lawh-i-Aqdas, by which name I formerly described it, it is written, لا تحسبن أنا نزلنا لكم الأحكام بل فتحنا ختم الرحيق المختوم بأصابع القدرة والإقتدار. Quote, do not consider that we have revealed unto you ordinances, but rather that we have opened the seal of the sealed wine with the fingers of might and power. End quote. Endnote. And the lights of the name of the self-subsistent. O friends of God, verily the pen of sincerity enjoineth on you the greatest faithfulness. By the life of God, its light is more evident than the light of the sun. In its light and its brightness and its radiance, every light is eclipsed. We desire of God that He will not withhold from His cities and lands the radiant effulgence of the sun of faithfulness. We have directed all in the nights and in the days to faithfulness, chastity, purity, and constancy, and have enjoined good deeds and well-pleasing qualities. In the nights and in the days, the shriek of the pen ariseth, and the tongue speaketh, that against the sword the word may arise, and against fierceness patience, and in place of oppression submission, and at the time of martyrdom resignation. For 30 years and more, in all that hath befallen this oppressed community, they have been patient, referring it to God. Every one endowed with justice and fairness hath testified and doth testify to that which hath been said. During this period this oppressed one was engaged in good exhortations and efficacious and sufficient admonitions, till it became established and obvious before all that this victim had made himself a target for the arrows of calamity unto the showing forth of the treasures deposited in men's souls. Strife and contest were and are seemly in the beasts of prey of the earth, but laudable actions are seemly in man. Blessed is the Merciful One who created man and taught him utterance. After all these troubles, neither are the ministers of state content, nor the doctors of the church. Not one soul was found to utter a word for God before the court of His Majesty the King. May God perpetuate His kingdom. There shall not befall us aught save that which God hath decreed unto us. They acted not kindly, nor was there any shortcoming in the display of evil. Justice became like the phoenix, and faithfulness like the philosopher's stone. None spake for the right. It would seem that justice had become hateful to men, and cast forth from all lands like the people of God. Glory be to God! In the episode of the land of Tar, not one spoke for that which God had commanded. Note, the land of Tar, Arz-Tar, means Tehran. Endnote. Having regard to the display of power and parade of service in the presence of the king, may God perpetuate his kingdom, they have called good evil, and the reformer a sedition monger. The like of these persons would depict the drop as an ocean and the moat as a sun. They call the house of Colain the strong fortress, and close their eyes to the perspicuous truth. They have attacked a number of reformers of the world with the charge of seditiousness. As God liveth, these persons had and have no intent nor hope save the glory of the state and service to their nation. For God they spoke, and for God they speak, and in the way of God do they journey. O friends, ask of him who is the desire of the denizens of earth, that he will succor his Majesty the King. May God perpetuate his kingdom, so that all the dominions of Persia may by the light of the Sun of Justice become adorned with the decoration of tranquility and security. According to statements made, he, at the promptings of his blessed nature, loosed those who were in bonds and bestowed freedom on the captives. The representation of certain matters before the faces of God's servants is obligatory and natural to the pious, so that the good may be aware and become cognizant thereof. Verily he inspireth whom he pleaseth with what he desireth, and he is the powerful, the ordainer, the knowing, the wise. A word from that land hath reached the oppressed one, which in truth was the cause of wonder. His Highness the Mu'tamid-ud-Dawla, Farhad Mirza, said concerning the imprisoned one, that whereof the repetition is not pleasing. This victim consorted very little with him, or the like of him. So far as is recollected, on only 2 occasions did he visit Murg Mahalle in Shemiran, where was the abode of the oppressed one. On the first occasion he came one day in the afternoon, and on the second one Friday morning, returning nigh unto sundown. He knows and is conscious that he should not speak contrary to the truth. If one enters his presence, let him repeat these words before him on behalf of the oppressed one: O Prince, I ask justice and fairness from your Highness concerning that which hath befallen this poor victim. Well is it for that soul whom the doubts of the perverse withhold not from the display of justice, and deprive not of the lights of the luminary of equity. O Saints of God! At the end of our discourse we enjoin on you once again chastity, faithfulness, godliness, sincerity, and purity. Lay aside the evil and adopt the good. This is that whereunto ye are commanded in the Book of God, the knowing, the wise. Well is it with those who practice this injunction. At this moment the pen crieth out, saying, O Saints of God, regard the horizon of uprightness, and be quit, severed, and free from what is beside this. There is no strength and no power save in God. End of section 11.